I'm going to show you how I got this look using my favorite one palette makeup and one of my cute new wigs. Check it out. Start by priming your lids with one of your brightening highlights, and then always make sure that you set that with some sort of setting powder. That way your eyeshadow goes on nice and smoothly. For this look, I'm going to start off with the color Bubba. This is one of my absolute favorite colors, and I'm just going to wash this into my crease and build up as desired. Next, we're going to go in with this warm brown called Cocoa, and I am just going to use the fluffy end of my eyeshadow brush and do the outer corner of my eye just to build up a little bit of dimension with this. Next, we're going to go in with our finger with one of my absolute favorite colors. This is Gigi. She is a light lavender shimmer, and it pairs so beautifully with these earthy browns. Next, I'm going to flip my eyeshadow brush around to the smaller end and go in with the color Salem as if I'm lining my eyes, and just go from the outer half of my eye to the corner. And then I'm going to use the fluffy end of the brush to kind of buff it out. Okay, so we're ready to start our face. I'm going to use the detail brush and start with my contour. If you struggle with contour, get this brush. It makes contouring an absolute breeze. So our contour is just going to add shadow and dimension. So this is going to be a more ashy tone shade. I'm going to place this right under my cheekbones, along my hairline, on my forehead. Now I'm going to contour my jawline. I have a long face, so I contour at my chin, but if you don't have a face shape like mine, you can just contour at your jawline for some definition. I typically don't contour my nose or my lips at this point. I like to wait until the rest of my face is done. So now I'm going to place my main highlight. I actually mixed two colors together for my summer shade. So this is Sandy and Candlelit mixed together, and I'm just placing this in those areas that I want my main highlight shade. Then I'm going to gently buff this out until it's nice and blended. For this step, I'm using our 3D brush. I like this brush in the summer months because I prefer a more light to medium coverage, and this brush is really great for that. Next, I'm going in with the color Aura. This is slightly lighter than my main shade, just to go under my eyes for a little color correction. And then I'm using our multitasker to place my brightening pop highlight. This is the color Versailles, and I'm just going to place this along the center of my face and in the corners of my eyes to have a more awake, lit from within look. I'm just going to gently buff this out with that fluffy end of my 3D brush. And then I do the outer corners of my eyes, and then for the inner corner of my eyes, I actually prefer to blend that with my ring finger. It just fits nicely in there, and it kind of helps to melt that color in. So now we are going to do our bronzer. I'm using our blush and bronzer brush, the big fluffy end, and I am going in with my favorite concoction for the summer, and that is Bella mixed with the Glow Illuminator. It gives you the most beautiful, subtle glow, and I absolutely recommend it to everybody to grab that for the summer. So you're just going to hit the places where you naturally get that sun-kissed tan. Now I'm going to go in with our Demi blur brush, and I am going to do my nose contour. So hold the brush slightly back so you are using a light hand, and I just go over the top of the bridge of my nose. The closer that you place those lines together, the slimmer your nose is going to appear, and then you will just connect them at the bottom. Then I just take a little bit of my brightening highlight down the bridge of my nose and at the tip just to give it a little more definition, and I just tap that in with my finger. Now I'm going to go in with that same brush and contour my lips just to make them appear a little more full. I'm just going right below my bottom lip and then slightly overlining my top lip. Now we are going to get some eyebrows on this face. I like to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. This is the color Soft Brown, and I just outline the top and the bottom of my eyebrows. And then I go in with just a angled brush with one of my eyeshadows. This is the color Oak, and I just fill those eyebrows in. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of setting powder and set my under eyes so I can finish out my eyeshadow look. I'm going to take a little bit of that warm brown cocoa color, and I'm just going to drag it along my lower lash line. This is so much more flattering in my opinion than using an eyeliner. So now we're going to go in and do our cheeks. I'm using the color Plum, and I'm using the smaller end of the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm just going from the middle of my cheeks up to my temples. And then I'm going to top it off with our June shade of the month. This is Sunshine State. It's one of the glosses. It's super subtle, but it has a really beautiful gold shimmer in it, and it acts as an illuminator as well. For my lips, I'm going to use the color Ballerina, and I'm just using a lip brush. And I'm going to do Ballerina, and then I'm also going to top that off with a little bit of that Sunshine State as well. Then to finish our look, we're going to go in with a little bit of mascara. I like the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions. If you haven't tried it, definitely highly recommend this one. So now we are going to set our makeup with a setting powder. You can use the SEINT Vanilla Dust. It's super lightweight, it's beautiful, but in the summers here in Alabama, I need something a little bit heavier. So I'm using the Born This Way setting powder, which I really like, and I'm just going over my areas of highlight. And that is our finished makeup look. I absolutely love it. And now let's do some hair. So I like my hair to sit as flat to my head as possible. So I am just combing out my bio hair, and then I'm going to gather it in the back and roll it up as tight as I can and clip it with a flat barrette to the back of my head. And then I'm going to use a velvet wig grip. This is the only thing that I use to keep my wigs in place. And I like to pull out a little bit of my wispies on the side to blend with my wig. So I'm just combing out my wig before I put it on, grabbing it by the nape, and then just basically swan diving into it. If you need to adjust it, make sure you grab it by the ear tabs to do so instead of grabbing it by the hair or the lace so you don't mess up the wig. This is Raquel Welch's Wavy Day, which I have actually straightened, and this is in the color Shaded Iced Latte Macchiato. It's a really beautiful silvery neutral blonde. And this is heat defiant, so you can put heat on it up to 350 degrees. So I am just kind of straightening out where I need to. And that's our finished look. One palette of makeup, a beautiful wig, and we are good to go. Bye, y'all.